Yo, what's up? It's Coach Paul Serranos coming at you from a new location because I got a father-in-law staying in my office. I wanted to start by going over a review of some research paper reviews about fitness that I found interesting. Review number one: does eating processed foods make it difficult to optimize your physique? What they did was they had two groups of overweight people. They said eat until you're full, eat until you feel like you're full. They gave one group whole foods. The other group had more processed foods. For 2 weeks, the group with processed foods ate 500 more calories per day to feel like they were full. The whole foods group ate 500 calories less per day. So over 2 weeks, the whole foods group lost 2 pounds. The processed foods group gained 2 pounds, which is what you would expect. 500 calories a day difference is going to be an extra pound per week. In fact, so it's interesting. You can look at their diets and you can see the ultra processed is pancakes with butter and syrup, turkey sausage, tater tots, apple juice. Compare that to oatmeal, blueberries, almonds. Not even a high protein breakfast. And then the ultra processed lunch, cheeseburger, fries, lemonade compared to salmon, baked potato, green beans. In fact, they saw that the processed breakfast and lunch they ate a lot more. The dinners were actually pretty similar, but still, this ultra processed group. I wouldn't even call a lot of this junk food. There's roasted peanuts in here. Sure, there's goldfish and applesauce, but you see, it's not necessarily what you think of junk food. Processed food doesn't necessarily mean junk food. It just means, it's not whole foods like raisins and oranges, apples, rice, what have you. But just the kind of food you eat is going to make a difference in how hungry you feel. They both said they felt the same level of fullness, 500 more calories to feel full on an ultra processed diet. So there you go. And here's their weight loss. Ultra processed diet, they gained a couple pounds. Unprocessed diet, they lost a couple pounds. Study 2: are ketogenic diets good for building muscle? The results were no. In fact, they had the same level of protein. They did the same workouts. One was high fat, low carb. One was high carb, low fat. The high carb group gained more muscle. The high fat group lost a little more fat. The summary was, if you equate protein and everything else, high fat versus high carb doesn't make a huge difference. It really comes down to total calories and personal preference. But generally, higher carbs is going to be better for muscle building. So keep that in mind. That's why I typically go, minimum number of fat is necessary. So about 0.3 grams per pound of body weight. So for me, that's like 70 grams per day. Anything above that could make you fatter. It's unnecessary calories. So keep that in mind. But fats are delicious. That's why we eat them. This is an interesting one. Diet versus exercise. What's better for fat loss? So they basically had one group diet in a 700 calorie per day deficit. They did no exercise. The other group didn't diet at all. They ate their maintenance calories, but then did an hour of cardio a day to burn 700 calories. So each group was in a 700 calorie per day deficit. The exercise group actually lost a little bit more fat and retained a little bit more muscle. But guess what? And this was over 12 weeks, and it worked out really well. They each lost about 16 pounds. So they each lost about the same amount of weight. But the diet-only group lost a little bit more muscle. Neither of them did strength training, which would be the optimal thing to do. So strength train and diet would probably be better. The exercise group was an hour a day for 12 weeks. So just imagine that's 74 hours lost spent exercising. If you had spent half that time strength training, you would have had even better results and then done the diet as well. So dieting is just easier than doing exercise. And an hour of exercise, for me, that makes me exhausted. Strength training doesn't make me exhausted. It energizes me. But even a half hour of cardio, I am tired the rest of the day. And I'm usually hungrier too. So interesting study. A calorie deficit is a calorie deficit, whether through diet or exercise. But another thing to note, it was only 12 weeks, and a lot of long-term studies on exercise show that over time, the number of calories you burn from exercising decreases. You'd think it would be the same, but actually your body compensates. So, they watched these guys run marathons every day, and after several months, they were burning 500 fewer calories by running the same marathon at the same pace. So your body will compensate, probably by reducing inflammation and doing good things, but exercise over the long run is not the best way to burn calories and burn fat. What happens when to body composition when you simply increase protein intake? It gets better. You lose more fat and you build more muscle just by increasing protein intake, whether you lift weights or not. It causes you to burn more calories because there's a thermic effect from protein, and it's going to be used to help build and preserve muscle. So just increasing protein, making no other changes, is going to have positive impacts. So even if you didn't change your calorie intake, you just reduce your carbs, fats, and increase your protein, you would see benefits just from that. Add strength training and other things, you'll see even better results. Are half squats as good as full squats? No. Full squats got more muscle growth, especially in the glutes, also in the quads, and the adductors, the inner thighs. Neither of them were very good for hamstring development. So squat as low as you can, but go as low as your mobility allows. What causes a weight loss plateau? Metabolic adaptation, which is like your body reducing its natural total daily energy expenditure, BMR, or basal metabolic rate. So are you adapting? Is your body naturally burning less calories, or are you just not adhering to your plan? They found that it's this one. You're not adhering to your plan. It's usually after 6 months, a lot of people see a plateau and then even a regain. They probably just get burnt out of dieting, and they start slipping, and they're eating more calories than they report or think they are. A metabolic adaptation would take a year to close to 2 to 3 years to really occur. So anytime you're having a weight loss plateau in the first year, it's because you're not adhering to your plan as well. You're either too many sauces, too many calories that you're not counting that are you're eating but you're not accounting for. So keep that in mind. Yeah, this study shows it's almost always adherence to your plan that causes a weight loss plateau. Now, on to scores for 2 weeks ago. Team scores. Look at this. Red Dragons kicking butt, 90%. Again, way to go, Miguel, 95%. Michael, 92%. It's great work. You guys are crushing it. 90% for that many weeks in a row. It's a record. Way to go. Hats off to you. Red Dragons. Green Falcons right behind. Just missed it. Oh, William, come on. You got to help. You got to help your team out here. Oh, I mean, even if you're 80, whoops, even if, oh, it's been close. But come on, bump these up, William. I know you can do better. Shanette, way to go, 98%. Gary, way to bounce back from 79. Keith, you're on a roll, hit 90s consistently. That's great work. Individual percentage, top Shanette, awesome work. Miguel, 95. Great work, guys. I didn't score myself last week. I'm not scoring myself. I'm basically in a bulk. I'm not doing the walking, and I tell you, I'm wearing it again. I'm 5,000 steps a day. If you don't prioritize walking, it's really easy to walk only 3,000 or 4,000 steps. And remember, I was automatic 10, 12, 15,000 steps a day for 6 months. I did 10,000 steps a day, and 80 days I did 12,000 steps a day. And for 2 months, I was averaging 17,000 steps a day. So as soon as you just throw that discipline out the window, man, it's gone. And eating-wise, I'm eating more calories, higher carbs and fats, and I'm not being particularly disciplined about it. And I tell you what, I crave those kinds of foods. I want fats and carbs, and I'm having to force feed myself protein. So when you throw discipline out the window, I mean, it's gone. You got to work to get it back. So I'm still being good about mobility. I'm still lifting weights. I'm getting stronger. I'm up to about 240 pounds. So I've packed on some weight. I'm enjoying it though. You know what? It's I consider it a diet break, and once I get sick of eating, I'm going to drop the calories again. But for now, I'm going to continue eating and lifting and try to get stronger and build some muscle, and then I'll switch back to a deficit, drop my carbs and fats down, keep my protein high, maybe start walking more again. But sleep's been great. I've been sleeping really well, going to bed 8 or 9 o'clock, getting up at 5, but it's been awesome. I like it a lot. Dimitri almost hit 150,000 steps on Luke Sidewalker. Awesome work. 125 for Thomas. Jeanette. This is great. I mean, especially now. I would be down here. I'd be 30,000 steps. I swear. It's so funny. But guess what? When you're trying to gain weight, you don't need to walk as much. And it cracks me up as Dimitri's trying to bulk, and he's walking 150,000 steps. But that's city living in New York. He's not walking on a treadmill. He's walking out and about in the city. But hey, great work, guys. I love seeing the commitment, the hard work, the dedication. I love seeing the progress being made. Keep it up. You got any issues, give me a shout. I'm here for you. Way to get fit, way to live prime. Keep consistent. Just give it time. Talk to you soon.